Do you have a six pack?
Definitely not. No.
Have you ever had a six pack?
No.
How many millions of dollars would you say you've sold in your life?
Multiple millions of dollars. Hey everybody, it's Neil and Abby with the Matterhorn Business Development YouTube channel coming at you. We've had a little bit of a break and now we are back ready to keep recording. And today, Abby says she's going to surprise me with something because there's apparently some video she wants me to watch so that you can get my live reaction, which tells me I'm going to hate it.
So just for a little bit of context, Neil doesn't know who I'm about to show him, what kind of video we're showing him. All he knows is that it's a sales trainer who has a lot of followers. And then for a little context, Neil, you've sold a little bit, right?
A couple of things, yes.
Okay.
For about 21 years now, I've been a professional sales.
Neil has made his living as a salesman for 21 years. So I think that in itself says that you've been successful at it,
That's
right?
correct, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to just play the video.
Okay, let's do it.
Don't look at it yet.
Okay, I'm not peeking.
I'm going to tell you this, my entire company, my entire team, if you don't have a six-pack, you don't work for us. No, I know. It's called, everybody say standard. How about we raise them? How about we raise them? How about we raise them? How about you guys quit getting fucking civilized and you guys quit settling? You know, there's some people in this room that said, I would sue my company if they told me I had to have a six-pack. We know you would. That conversation was for the 1%ers. That wasn't for you.
Wow.
So, Neil, I want to ask you, do you have a six-pack?
Definitely not. No.
Have you ever had a six-pack?
No.
Me neither. Now, how many millions of dollars would you say you've sold in your life?
Multiple millions of dollars,
so
yes.
Do you think your lack of six-pack has affected your ability to be a top-tier salesman?
No. Also, if this were me and my company, you have to have hair. So, sorry. What was his name? Andy Elliott?
Andy Elliott.
Yeah. Sorry, Andy. You're settling.
Just work harder to grow that hair.
I actually wish that this was satirical. Unfortunately, there's a few things that we have to unpack here. Number one, we're dealing with modern media that makes you think that these are successful people. And I'm sure that this guy is successful. He probably has more money in his bank account than me because he's this influencer guy and whatever. But there's a lot more to life and happiness and success than money because we see multi-millionaires and billionaires killing themselves. So obviously money is not the end goal. This guy, yeah, he probably has a lot more money than I do or will ever make. But we have this idea that this is how success works because of social media and we have to get out there and be bold and be different. Or, you know, I got it. That's his shtick. That's how he makes money, is by being this guy in front of everybody. He's settling and being somebody else on the camera in front of these people than probably who he really is. And that works for them. The one thing about Matterhorn is that you'll always just see us for us. We don't do the type of content that these people do because I can't stand it. Number two is having a six-pack to work here. Okay, I get that. That could be your company culture if you are a gym.
Yeah. I could see that.
If you work out and sell gym equipment and sports equipment and that's what you guys do, then yeah, maybe you do need to have a six-pack to work there because that's who you are and that's what you do, right? But that has nothing to do with selling. That has nothing to do with how productive any other business is whether or not you have a six-pack or not. And again, I use the idea of, well, maybe you need to grow some hair. Well, that's just as ridiculous as saying you have to have a six-pack. And if you don't have a six-pack, what did he say? You're one of the 1%ers or whatever? Which I don't even understand what he's trying to say by that.
I think he was saying the 1%ers as in the 1%ers are the ones who are going to have the high standards and put in the work.
Yeah.
So I think what he's trying to get at is that you have to have a level of discipline and intensity and whatever. But obviously we disagree that, like, I get that. You need to have discipline. You need to work hard in order to achieve success and all of that. But proving that you can go get a six-pack doesn't mean anything. I had a baby. I don't have a six-pack. Now, there are some women who had babies and have six-packs, but I'm not one of them. That doesn't mean I don't work hard. That doesn't mean I'm not successful. And that doesn't mean I'm not smart.
Yeah. No, exactly. And it's sort of like saying you can't work at Publix and be a grocery bagger if you can't run fast enough. What does that have to do with standing there and bagging groceries? What does my six-pack have to do with people wanting to buy something from me? Personally, I wouldn't buy anything from this guy because I can already tell the type of personality that he is. Sales comes down to your ability to communicate and actually understand your customer. A guy like that has zero ability to actually understand his customer because the only reality that he can relate to is his own reality. So he's very good at selling people that think like him. He would never be able to sell me, and I would never be able to sell him, because we have two very different agreements and ideas about how to sell or what selling is actually about. I bet if I go through any of his other videos, there will be some good information. I've never heard of this guy. I've never seen anything else, but I can see some other thumbnails in here that look absolutely ridiculous as well.
Let's check it out. I want to check them out.
Okay, I want to see what this one has to do with.
Come here. I'm gonna grab this guy in the pink hat. Come here real quick, come here. Let me show you what I'd fucking do with him. Steve, how old are you?
52.
Steve is 52 years old. I could call him Comeback Steve. If you'll physically get right and you'll take care of your family, you'll make more money than you know what to do with. Steve, take your shirt off. Come on, Steve. Steve, come here. We're gonna make a deal with Steve. Okay, listen. I'm gonna give Steve $10,000. Okay? Listen. And that's fuck you money for Steve. But I'm gonna give Steve 10 grand if in 120 days, which will give you 4 months, which he's not that out of shape, okay, he can get a 6-pack. Okay, now who thinks Steve can do it?
I just want to point out the caption says, I called him out to a higher purpose.
I don't see how having a 6-pack makes you more money if you are not doing something that is gym or fitness related, right?
He also said take care of your family. What does having a 6-pack take?
Right, and that's the thing is that
family.
I think what he's trying to say is that you have to work harder to be able to make more money. And if somebody's dedicated enough to get a 6-pack, then they're going to have dedication to be able to work harder to make money. Right. But that really is like saying if you eat salads every day, you'll make more money. It's the same thing. Yeah. This guy has just settled on a 6-pack because he has a 6-pack and because that's what he wants to do. His way of motivating somebody is to get them physically better. And there's truth to that. If I make you work out and feel better personally, you will be in better shape to work out or to work. Mm-hmm. And there's truth to that. If you sit around and watch Netflix all day, you are less motivated to go to work. Right. So this guy is doing this like workaround thing.
It's quite a stretch.
It is a stretch because that doesn't mean that because I'm in shape, I'm going to make more money. It's a false datum that sits there. What actually dictates how much money you make is how much you can sell and work and how well you are at communicating with other people. This guy, Andy, is good at communicating his reality and his viewpoint. And everybody in that room is people that are going to accept that. If he called me out on stage and said, Neil, take your shirt off, I'm going to give you 10 grand for 120 days. I'd say, well, you know, those hours that I'm in the gym to try and get my 6-pack, I would make more than 10 grand.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Than trying to get a 6-pack. Yeah. So it doesn't actually balance out for me. I don't know if this guy's like a sales guru guy. Is that what he's trying to promote himself as?
That's what he is.
This is sort of like what Tony Robbins and other people do when you walk on hot coals to improve you know what I mean? Walking on hot coals is actually not difficult. There's actually a science behind it. Mm-hmm. And how you walk across it, you're not going to burn yourself unless you just stand there for 5 minutes or whatever, right? But it's this idea that like, oh, I can do anything. He's trying to get people to do that by getting a 6-pack. Doesn't really make sense to me. I get it. It works for some people. And if it works for you, it works for you. For me, when it comes down to making somebody more productive or motivated, what I actually do is I actually handle problems in their life that are making them want to sit down and watch Netflix. I met with somebody recently, a doctor, who is so stressed out in their business that they go home and they drink because they're so stressed out in the business and they're stressed out with their life and they're stressed out with money and they're stressed out with these things. Good. What do? We make a plan of certain problems and things that have to be sorted out and give them the guidance that they need to actually go back and fire that employee or reorganize things or hire the employee that they need or pay the bills that they don't want to pay because they're too scared to see how much they owe versus how much is in the bank account. By doing that, somebody actually handles their problems and then they'd go home and they go, you know, I feel like working out tonight rather than sitting on the couch and watching Netflix and getting drunk because we're actually solving the problems in their life. This guy is trying to get people to solve problems in their life by becoming more productive. Does that work? Sure. Is that how I would launch my Instagram influencer account? No. I have guys like Andy who do that for me.
All right, so let's check out one of his other videos.
You're dieting and you get hungry. You think you're dying? No, you tell your mind to shut the fuck up. We're leaning down. Now I'm calling the shots. We're gonna get in shape. Whenever you're doing shit and you're out running 10, 15 miles and you get tired, you think you're gonna die? No, but your body tells you you're getting, somebody say yeah? Huh? All right, get that fucking weak ass up here. Let's do 20 push-ups. Come on, come on, come on. Hey,
again, I don't see what this has to do with business or money.
Listen to me. Hey, by the way, hey, I don't have anything against him. What I want to ask him is why did he give his weakness a voice? Right? Do you guys understand? Yeah. Like why? What value did it bring to the room? I said, when you run 10 miles, are you gonna die? He goes, I'll run 2, I'm gonna die. Down, give me fucking push-ups, I'm out, dude. Listen, that weak shit, we're not gonna have it in here. Now, by the way, listen to me, you think he likes talking like that? Do you like talking like that? No, dude, look, he's a good-looking kid, am I right? Dude, listen to me, if I had his looks, I'd be fucking everybody up, okay? But guess what? I don't, but you know what I have? I have this.
And a six-pack.
Yeah. Andy is a person who was probably at one point maybe out of shape, maybe wasn't doing so good in life, going to the gym, doing that to fuel his comeback in life and doing something. And now what he's trying to do is to get other people to do the same thing. And he's making his entire business around the idea of working out, feeling better, and then giving yourself the goal to do better in life or in business or whatever. That works. I get that. But to try and take that and equate that to everybody and everything does not necessarily work. This is his avenue to sell himself. And that's what that is. He's a motivational speaker who uses workout and influences people to do better by taking care of themselves, probably, to then motivate them to do better in work and all that. Does it work? I'm sure it can work. Is that my approach? Not at all. I have made multiple millionaires, and people have 5, 10, 20x their businesses and retired before they were 40. When I met them, they were behind on their IRS bills and all that kind of stuff. I didn't tell any of them to go to the gym to do that. I gave them other tools to do that.
Actual actions.
Actions.
Go do this, not just go to the gym. And, you know, I get it. He's trying to do the rah, change your mindset. Yeah. And sometimes that has to happen. But like you said earlier, another way of changing the mindset and getting up to that level up, so to speak, is by handling the stresses and the things that you aren't actually confronting.
Yeah.
And maybe some of that is your personal fitness. Like, I get that, but I don't think it's the direct line of you're going to get from point A to point Z by working out more.
Yeah. I don't think Warren Buffett has a six-pack.
That's a really good point.
But the point is that there's many people who have changed the world through inventions and art and ideas and science and technology who don't have six-packs. That's just a way of doing it. And he has to be different from the Tony Robbins that's out there. He has to be different from the other guys that are out there that are telling you to just go sell and make money and make millions and be happier. He's trying to motivate them to take care of themselves, which is actually a good message if you think that the idea is to take better care of yourself and you'll live better. Right. There's truth to that, but that's his avenue to try and do that. It would not work for me. It would not work for any of my clients that I've dealt with who have done multi-million-dollar businesses and things like that. But if that works for him and that works for the people that are there, then that's good because they're looking for something to motivate them to make more money. And if it's working out and getting in shape, there's no wrong message behind that. But to tell somebody that when you start working out, you'll have more money than you know what to do with is completely false. Yeah. Because then I'm sitting there and I'm getting my six-pack and I'm like, where's my money? My money's not in my bank account.
Yeah.
But that's the idea that Andy told me, is that if I get a six-pack, I make more money. No, that's not the case. So not how I would approach things. I understand where he's coming from. But to me, this is an age of social media influencers that, you know, he's racking up hundreds of thousands of views and selling all these conventions and conferences. And that's because he has a six-pack and he can do that. But if I want to learn from a guy with hair, well, I can't go to him. So it's the same thing, right? You do what works for you, A, to Andy, but B, to anybody watching. If that's the idea that you think getting off the couch and getting motivated in your personal life will help in your business life, it's probably true. If you think, well, that doesn't have anything to do with me, I need to learn how to talk to people better, or I need to learn how to actually hire the right people in my business, well, then learn things that are going to help you hire the right people in your business, not get the six-pack unless you just want to get in shape.
Yeah. So if you want to talk to a real human who will actually address the issues and barriers that you're running into and not tell you to just go get a six-pack to solve all your problems, book a free profit assessment below. We'll get on a call. I'll ask you some questions. And by the end of the call, we'll have a clear path of how to tackle the issues that you're running into and what are the real reasons you're running into those issues in your business. So click below to book that free profit assessment.
Also, be sure you check out metapulse.com down below. They are our channel sponsors, as well as one of the main tools that we use to actually help you grow your business. And you don't have to have a six-pack to be a client of theirs either. We'll see you next time.